center. Frank not overly strategically.
Go. That front right, always difficult to get it up and down.
This is a good looking. The 7th hole. This for birdie. Getting set now. I'll leave it short. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. The TPC Sawgrass, Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Frank, this is a hole that I really like.
And players do too, Rich, especially off that back tee where it must be about 80 yards of shoot that you go through before the hole actually starts to open up. And this green, 11 bunkers in total around the whole putting surface.
Wouldn't say he's ecstatic, but not unhappy either.
At 24 feet, there'll be a lot of players much further away than that on this hole.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side, the 583-yard par 5 ninth?
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2. But you can make an absolute mess here at 9.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man.
Even par currently.
So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right, so that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
Frank, no doubt these players have dreams of winning the big championships, the majors someday, but at least to this point, you would have to say this is probably the biggest day of their golfing lives.
Golf, or professional golf, can be a little bit like snakes and ladders. They've got themselves on the ladder. If they can climb this one, the next ladder, the PGA Tour, but don't slip.
For a birdie.
Yeah.
In for birdie, and now 2 under for the tournament. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. It's the second round of the Web.com Tour Championship, fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. We saw a lot of great golf on day number one, but as we inch closer, Frank, with those 50 PGA Tour cards up for grabs, that pressure begins to ratchet up.
It would have to, Rich, with that golden ticket come the end of this week, and that's a chance to play on the PGA Tour. But for the time being, let's look at the way they're playing right now. We are seeing some players play at the top of their game.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good swing, good shot yet again. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
He's putting for bogey now. So a drop shot. Frank, 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par threes. Justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is. Longest of the 4 par threes. Plus, it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
This one has a chance to be close. So that one settles about 18 feet away from the cup. Pretty good shot.
This is an awkward length.
So maybe just a tough putt to read, Frank.
Well, I think you're kind there, Rich. 2 feet from that distance. That's the scoring zone.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Call in the medics, Frank. Can't stop the bleeding here.
Just racking the bogeys up.
Frank, the 9th is really a good par 5, isn't it?
There's so many options here. Just play it away, sort of 3-wood it down there, then go to the right and sort of wedge it on the green. But it's very tempting, especially in the right wind conditions. And that's if they're coming over your shoulder for a right-hander from right to left. Then this par 5 is very reachable.
You can play it from there, 300 yards away and in the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Third shot, looking for a good one. That will be a great look at birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Let's get the back nine started here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. And break down the 10th for us, Frank.
Well, it's similar to the opening hole. The first and 10th give you the same feeling where you feel awkward off the tee shot. Difference to the first hole, you've got to poke your tee shot towards the right side of the fairway here, turning it into a dogleg. And similar thing, now you're going back across the fairway to the green.
All right, Frank, now the approach here at number 10. What's the right way to play it?
Just avoid that bunker on the right and don't go too long and left. Over the back left is not an easy up and down. Should be safely on deck.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Starting to move on this leaderboard now, Frank.
It's got a nice look to it. Another who's who.
So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is the third round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. So we're into the weekend, Frank, and just remind people what's at stake here.
Top 50 players are going to go forward and play the big tour, the PGA Tour, the chance to play in major championships, the chance to become a star of the future. And right now, Rich, there's just 36 holes separating them between now and their dream.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Here we are at the 8th at Pete Dye's famed stadium course at the TPC Sawgrass. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Frank, this is a hole that I really like.
And players do too, Rich, especially off that back tee where it must be about 80 yards of shoot that you go through before the hole actually starts to open up. And this green, 11 bunkers in total around the whole putting surface.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
Good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
Frank, now at the 9th, this really is one of my favorite par 5s in the entire sport.
And I certainly enjoy watching people play it today, Rich. It used to be unreachable, but the longer hitters now, we're starting to see them go for this par 5 regularly in 2. And the reason why they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People used to try and go down the left side. The right side, it hugs the water, but you get a better view of the second shot.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble. That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Bogey here yesterday. Now this for birdie. Frank, tie atop the leaderboard now.
I think it's certainly starting to get everybody captivated.
That was a nice birdie. Setting up to start the back nine here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front nine, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, where's the difficulty on this approach here at the 10th?
It's really the shape of this green. That little front piece, you have to be right on the money there. And then, of course, that green starts to open up and then move to the right.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his middle.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Good, solid par right there. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Settles in over the putt.
I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now par.
That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Frank, 14 is so often a pivotal hole here at the TPC Sawgrass.
It is, Rich. And when you see a player hit 2 shots comfortably on this green, you think, what's all the problems about 14? But when you see someone stray left or stray right, you realize that 14 is a real bear.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
I like the looks of this one. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute. Seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left and these two little pop bunkers out on the right that, well, if you're first time around, you might notice.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Bogey here yesterday. Chance to better that today. It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. Third place now.
Frank, you're one behind. Sunday afternoon, you're trying to win one of the game's great championships. Is this a spot that you love as a competitor, the 16th hole of par 5, with a chance to make a lot of noise?
It's a spot you cannot hide from, Rich, because you know exactly there. If you haven't looked at a scoreboard, you can feel it from the atmosphere.
And now the second shot here at this par 5.
Hazard?
Maybe wet. He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is. Just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
So this is his fourth shot after the last one found the water.
It's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Frank, that is an ugly double bogey, and it came at a really bad time.
We've all been there and we've all felt it. It stings.
Frank, the winds are starting to swirl now. How difficult is this shot suddenly?
Well, now it's a nightmare. You're looking at that spot in the middle of the green, and now you're guessing on the wind. And if you're guessing on a shot that's this short, everything can go wrong. So the thing is, do you really want to have it in the lap of the gods?
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
These putts keep the round together. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
He's putting for bogey now. Ouch. Really can't afford to give away shots at this point in the tournament, Frank. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Seems to like it. So it's headed for the green. Wow, Frank, I did not expect that. Eagle. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.